G'day ladies and gents, and welcome to X-Plane 10 with Mags. So I'm holding back on the War Thunder content just a little bit for the moment. As I'm sure most of you are aware at this point in time, we have some battle rating changes coming up. And these battle rating changes are going to affect some of the stuff that I want to actually show on the channel. So it's only a couple of days while I wait for these to come in, and then I'm going to go back to doing some more War Thunder. In the meantime, I've actually been taking advantage of the Steam Summer Sale, and I've managed to pick up a game that I've been looking at for a long time. Or if I say a game, I should say a simulation. This is X-Plane 10. Now, X-Plane 10 is not a combat simulator. This is just a flight simulator, mainly focused around commercial aircraft, although it does have some military aircraft as well. I was originally intending to show off the SR-71 Blackbird, which is available to fly in X-Plane 10. I'm having a little bit of issue learning to fly it. It's actually quite a difficult aircraft. So I'm just going to start off today with something simple. Now this is the Cessna 172 SP. It is probably the easiest aircraft in X-Plane 10 to fly, and we're just going to do a simple runway hop at night time. Well, at sunset heading into night time. We're in an Air Force base just outside of El Toro at the moment. We're going to hop over to the nearby commercial runway and we're going to put down. It's a nice, simple, relaxing flight. I'll just flick it over the controls. I am doing this live comms, by the way, so pardon me if the track IR is a little all over the shop while I get it organised. There we go. Now, the Cessna is, well, this is basically a four-door family sedan with wings. I mean, if we look around at the inside of it, the finishings, just lean over a little bit here, and you see, nicely appointed interior, we've got a back window. This is like being inside of a car. Even the yoke control is set up like a steering wheel. So, just adjust my trim. We want to go a little bit right here. Okay, trim is set. I think that should be good. Just setting rudder trim for takeoff. Interesting thing about the Cessna, this got me the first time I actually flew one. I have actually flown one of these. Never taken off and landed, but I have spent some time in the air behind the stick, although I was in that seat, not this one. This here is actually your throttle. It's simply a push and pull. There is no lever, no throttle quadrant, nothing. It's just a push and pull lever. It caught me off guard the first time I got to actually fly one. So, let's put this thing in the air. Release the brake. Still got a little bit right, so just adjust the trim slightly. Now, this game graphically is amazing. The texture quality does look a little bit off at the moment, but that is largely because my computer is actually not powerful enough to run this thing on maximum. It has some settings in there that are designed to melt modern graphics cards. Oh. Little bit of wiggle to be a little lighter on the rudder. Throttles to full. And rotate. And we're up. Nice and easy and simple as that. We just head down the end of the runway as we climb out. The first thing that caught me, I'm used to flying a number of these flight simulation, or using this flight simulation software, and a lot of them are not the most graphically impressive. They're all about the flight, not so much about looking good. X-Plane 10, I mean, look at this. Just hold myself steady for the moment, adjust myself in the chair. I haven't put camera limitations on the track IR yet, or at least I haven't managed to tune them in quite right for the game, so I can actually put my head through the doors at the moment. So I'm being very careful on my camera control. We're going to a right bank. We can see the highway down there. Now those aren't just light dots being rendered. There is actually 3D rendered cars down there, and you can fly low and check them out if you wish to. Now, if you look far in the distance, just over there, you'll actually see the beacons for the runway we're going to fly to. It's just a couple of kilometres away. So as I said, just a nice short flight. The Cessna is not a particularly fast aircraft, but it is most certainly fun. But it's not meant to be fast. These things were built just as light personal aircraft. Fly from A to B. And they've been successful for something like 60 years they've been still building Cessnas for now. Another one I flew up in was an early 1960s model. It actually wasn't quite as nice inside as this one is, but great aircraft. Very noisy, as I'm sure you've noticed by this time. I do need to seem to adjust my elevator trim here a little. Just trim it down. This is only my 5th fly out in X-Plane. I'm still getting used to all the controls. I've had to go through and custom bind quite a number of them over to the X55. So you can easily see the runway lights there. If I actually bring the mouse cursor over, the runway lights in this position here, and the strobes bring us in. So we're going to head down around this area and we're going to bank in and come in for landing. So yes, this is part of what I do in my leisure time. Just fly around an aircraft that may not necessarily have guns attached, just for a nice relaxing flight. I really do enjoy doing this. This kind of flying is not for everybody. Not everybody will be into simulation gaming. It's, well, really, look at what you're seeing. If you find this as something that looks good, it might be worth giving it a shot. You'll be surprised at how difficult it can be to fly some of the more complex aircraft. The Cessna itself is incredibly easy, but trying to put a 747 down on a short runway, or, as I've been discovering recently, fly the SR-71 Blackbird at all, is... The challenge comes from the actually flying the aircraft, not actually trying to combat anything in it. Now, X-Plane 10 is currently available on Steam. I think it's still holding a discount. I'm not so sure how long it'll hold that discount for. Checking over the left here. Back on the throttle a little bit here. There we go. I'm not entirely sure how long the discount will be running for, but it is an incredible piece of software. The user interface will drive you nuts, however. The game itself is amazing, the programming for it is beautiful, the texture work is excellent, the flight modelling is amazing. Whoever designed the user interface is still living in the 1990s. The user interface for this game is awful. But most flight simulation software is. Now, X-Plane itself, to give you an idea of its accuracy level, there are actually 2 types. There's the public available version, which is what I'm flying here, which is standard X-Plane 10. You'll find it in some stores, you'll find it on Steam. And then there's a commercial version. The commercial version of X-Plane 10 is actually incorporated into quite a lot of actual proper flight simulators that are used to train pilots for real-world flight. So the accuracy levels are incredible. I believe part of the way they actually do the flight modelling for these is it's not so much a flight model working with a physics engine like most games are to make this work. The game is actually live creating getting some rather nasty frame rate drops here. The game actually live creates a 3D wind tunnel around the aircraft, so it's emulating everything from crosswind effects, aerodynamic stresses. Everything is emulated in a wind tunnel environment that is simulated around the aircraft while you are flying it. So it's quite a bit more advanced than normal flight simulators. A little bit further to go, and then I'll begin my bank around and put it into a descent. X-Plane also does something that I've never seen any other flight simulation software do. Now, we haven't run into any yet, but it will actually emulate animals. I have had a bird strike. My first fly out, I tried to bring the Cessna up off the runway and flew straight into a pack of birds and actually broke the plane. You'll also find on some of the more rural runways, you'll find deer and wild animals will occasionally cross, especially the ones that aren't lit. We should be pretty fine for this one. I don't imagine there would be a whole lot down there, but it can happen. Slowly banking it around here. I'm actually using most of my flight here under trim controls only rather than on the stick. I don't actually need to use it. This is very simple. I'll do most of my descent under trim as well. I love the lighting effects down there. I'm hoping the recording is going to give you a full appreciation for what this looks like ahead. That's what highways look like at night from the air. this up. Now I'm sure you've noticed I haven't contacted air traffic control or anything else. I don't have any of that enabled at this time. I haven't even found the options for any of that, so I'm not bothering with it at the moment. This is just about learning to fly within the X-Plane engine and getting used to everything that's here. So I don't have to worry about contacting for landing. I do have to keep my eyes open, however, because X-Plane doesn't just render your aircraft. There will be other flights happening around us right now. So I need to keep my eyes open and make sure nobody else is coming in for landing. Although I haven't ran into anybody yet. I did have a close encounter in my SR-71, however. But then again, I probably shouldn't have been taking that off from a commercial airline or commercial airport. Throttle's back. A little bit more, I'm going to come in short otherwise. This is a fairly low approach. Okay. Throttle's back. Don't have to worry about gears. The Cessna has fixed landing gear, so it's just bring it down nice and gentle. Hold the plane steady and control descent with the throttle. Touchdown. Throttles to 0. Short brake on the left hand side of the runway a little bit there. Didn't quite center it quite nicely enough. And I actually want to continue rolling a little bit here. So I'm going to take it down and we're going to park down at the hangars at the end of the runway. This is something you don't normally have to do in most of the flight games you've seen, although you will do stuff like this on DCS. We'll find a nice place to park down the end. And the second hangar looks like there's something interesting over there we can take a look at. We'll go have a look. In our turn, there it is. The lighting on the Cessna for nighttime operations is not great. This time of night is actually the hardest time to fly. It has very poor visibility. Okay, and there's a Cessna parked down there. We'll park it over here. Brakes on. Oh, yeah, that's close enough. That'll do it. So there we go, a quick flight in X-Plane 10. Just have a look around. I really do enjoy these. They are not for everybody, but if it looks interesting, just learning how to fly. I'll flick to an outside camera here. Whoop, too far. Probably after that one. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. We'll try that one. There we go. Now we've got a camera. Still working out my camera controls here. Yes, if this is the kind of thing that sort of interests you as something just on the light side, to enjoy flying without having to worry about the combat approach, maybe something like X-Plane 10 will be worth having a look at. Till next time, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.